Welcome to the Profit First app. In this video, I am going to show you one of the most exciting features that we have in the Profit First app, and that's the automated allocations with Dream First Bank. That's right. That's the easy button for Profit First, puts it on autopilot. It is truly amazing. So let's jump in and let's get started. So the first question many people have is, how do I apply for my Dream First Bank accounts, and how do I know that my accounts have been opened and connected to the app? So I'm going to show you that real quick. To apply, real simple, you see this blue banner up here. All you got to do is click on it. It's going to bring the button here to continue to Dream First. That's going to take you directly to the Dream First application page. It's automatically going to set you up with the 5 basic Profit First accounts. Very Profit First friendly, our preferred partner in banking. And it only takes you about 15 minutes to fill out all the information. And those accounts can be opened up generally within 24 hours. So very easy process. Definitely encourage you to do so. Once you have applied, one of the questions we get is how do I know my bank accounts are connected now? So one easy indicator is this blue button will be gone. This blue bar will be gone once your bank accounts are open at Dream First and is connected with the app. And all that happens behind the scenes for you, so you don't have to do anything to do that. So I'm going to flip on over to one of the companies that has Dream First bank accounts. And you can see, first thing is that blue banner is gone. Again, that's the indicator to know that your accounts are open, the app is connected to Dream First, and everything's working as expected. If you want to check a second way, you can always go to, settings, bank accounts. Get this thing out of the way here. And you'll see it says Dream First. Okay, so that's the other way you can be assured that, hey, accounts are open, connected to the app. So once that's connected, what is the automated allocations and how do I set that up? So let me show you how to do that quickly here. So you're going to go into the More Actions button, settings again, and we're going to come over here under the banking section and there's a scheduled transfers. Okay, so if you have your bank accounts open at Dream First, you'll be able to turn this enable button on. If you do not have Dream First accounts open, this will not turn on for you, unfortunately. So get those Dream First accounts opened, turn this enable feature on, and it's pretty straightforward. So as the basics of the Profit First system, the heart and soul of doing those allocations and doing them consistently. And when you set it up like with Dream First here and the automation, it really does all that for you on the background. So the first thing you do is going to pick your frequency. We recommend weekly to get started. Now, as you further in the process, if you want to move to bi-weekly, twice a month, 10th and 25th, like the book states, definitely do that. But to get started, most companies want to do this weekly to get started, okay? You want to fund those accounts a little quicker to kind of make that transition. Then the other thing you want to pick is, if I pick weekly, you're going to pick the day of the week. This is usually driven by sometimes payroll or certain things that need to happen during the week that you want to make sure the money is in those accounts before that time period. So just pick, based upon your business, better than anybody, pick the right day of the week that works, Money Monday or Finance Friday or whatever it is, right? So you're going to pick the weekly or, one of the options that work for you. You're going to pick the timing. And then down here, I would leave the percentage is the default. That's the basic allocation percentage, the way Profit First, it does the allocations based upon the current allocation percentages. As you start to get more advanced, you can switch over to fixed and even mixed, where you're mixing a set of fixed allocations with your percentage. But my recommendation is when you're first getting started, just do the percentage. It's going to default to the cap settings, so you really shouldn't need to do anything there. And then when you're ready, go ahead and click Save. So I'm going to click Save. And then what it's going to do is the software, it's not going to do it here because I've already verified, but because we are connected directly to Dream First through the app, and because the money is going to be moving at Dream First, they want to verify that you are the business owner. So they're going to ask you for your tax ID. So make sure you have that handy so you can go ahead and enter that in when the software prompts it. Once you enter it in, it's going to send it to Dream First. It's going to verify that you are, in fact, the business owner, and it will open up that connection to do the scheduled transfers. So we set it right here for Monday. We're doing them weekly on Monday. Let's say it's a Wednesday, okay? And I have a big check that came in. I had a bunch of money came in, and I can't wait until Monday. I need to go ahead and do those transfers now, which we hate to do that, right? But sometimes these times come up, right? So the most important thing about doing your allocations is being consistent and doing them. And sometimes we have those off-schedule allocations we might need to do. So I want to show you how to do that real quick. There's a couple ways you can hit the More Actions button, Allocation Calculator, or there's a quick button right here that says Allocate. Now, when you are with Dream First and you have these automated allocations set up, what you're going to do is you'll see the money will show up in your income account, right? So when you're connected to the bank, it will bring in the latest balance. So hopefully you see that big check or the big payment that came in. And then I'm going to click this green button here, Initiate Transfers. And what that does, it says, hey, I want to do an off-cycle, off-schedule allocation. It's going to go ahead and initiate a transfer right away. So that's all you need to do. You don't have to do anything else. And the app takes care of everything else for you. So that's how you can do it, an off-cycle allocation. And then the last thing I want to show you, again, one of the most powerful things is every time you're doing an allocation, if you look down in here in your history, the software, the app is going to score the allocation for you and kind of give you the high-level details here. And so you can see down here, I've had a couple red spots where we didn't hit our revenue numbers in our income account, and hey, those happen, right? So it's okay. What's important is that we're being consistent and we're seeing the progress. But make sure when you do your allocation, come down here and look at your performance over time. And there's one other thing you can do too. You can check your balance to see is your balance is increasing over time, which is nice to see. I want to see those profit accounts starting to climb, right? This is a demo account, so it may not show. Yeah, it does. There we go. So anyways, that is how we set a scheduled allocation for Dream First. That's how we apply for it. The bank, where you can see that it's open. We're now scheduling them. We did an off-cycle transfer, and we're checking our performance down here. So thank you. And be sure to check out our other videos to make sure you're getting everything out of the Profit First app. Thank you.